Good morning, good Friday morning, my epic peeps. How are you today? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Samantha, and I am so grateful to be here on behalf of EPIC. And EPIC stands for Empowering People and Inspiring Community. And EPIC Tri-County CT is a multifaceted positive media platform. Oh my goodness, I'm stuttering already. I'm not even 30 seconds in. A positive media, it's a multifaceted platform for that positive media that consists of a beautiful print publication, interactive digital copy of that magazine, and also, of course, our social media presence. And all of this is for the community, by the community. I am grateful to be the voice of the community. So I want to also always give thanks to the co-creator and co-publisher of EPIC. Her name is Lisa, and Lisa is always working very hard in the background to man the comments and to make this positive media platform what it is today. We're so excited. In a few minutes, I'm going to be bringing forward a return guest, Reverend Laurie Ingram. Before we do bring Laurie's beautiful light forward, I want to just remind everybody to continue to check out the events section in our print publication, which is out there circulating now is our January-February issue, and also our website. That has all the events that are happening in and around Connecticut, but also now with this the technology that we've embraced through this past couple of years. You know, local is everywhere. I'm thinking of a meditation that I might attend through Andrew Cohen. He has the Manifest Nirvana platform, so that's something you can check out. But I'm so grateful that all these resources and connections and relationships are literally right at our fingertips. So check it out. Go onto our website and just give a surf around, I guess you call it, and see what you find. See what you find that can help to empower and inspire and help you to grow on your spiritual journey. And that's exactly the beautiful segue that has just opened for the introduction of Reverend Laurie Ingram. Reverend Laurie has been and continues to be an ordained interfaith and interspiritual minister. She's also working to become an interspiritual counselor, which is very exciting. And what's even, more, I believe, powerful and impactful are the various modalities and techniques that Reverend Laurie combines to bring her healing modalities forward. She uses color, she uses crystals, she uses light and creativity as all points to the divine, right? And she combines them in these beautiful sacred sessions. I attended one on this past Sunday, and it was a workshop that we explored the Root Chakra energy. It was virtual. It was so powerful. It really has reignited my creativity. It has reignited some journaling that I needed to get back to for inner healing. So the lady I'm going to bring forward now, without any further ado, Reverend Laurie Ingram, is a very, very powerful, loving, compassionate interfaith minister and soon to be interspiritual counselor. And we're going to talk about how she can help us to grow and manifest and to be who we came here to be. Hi, Reverend Laurie.
Hi. Yeah, that's so kind. Your words are so kind.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of doing the EPIC interviews, is to just take that moment and to really express the energy that I feel with each and every guest. So yeah, thank you for taking the time to be here. I have to say happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Another trip around the sun.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I like the way you said that. Another trip around the sun. And I'm grateful that you've entrusted EPIC with part of that journey and to help you to be a voice, in our community. So can you tell our viewers, those that are watching now and those that will watch later, a little bit about yourself and your own, all the previous trips around the sun that you've taken?
There've been a couple. At the end of it, all the modalities that I have come to love over the past several years, color, crystals, light therapy, really have married with my journey as an interfaith, interspiritual minister, which was a 2-year program that I embarked on. And I've really just followed what called to me. I also work in a corporate job.
Mm-hmm.
So, ultimately, I know what it's like for people to work and have your life on earth, but also have that other foot in the other world that's all around us. Spirit is everywhere, and it's always speaking to us.
Yeah.
So my journey has really been, it's been about marrying those two and really finding that thread and following it through my life. And ultimately, it's all about authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about learning who we really are and listening for who we are and just embracing who we are. I think one of the things I have found, especially in the past few years of my life, is I have really embraced the different modalities that I've been trained in and my spiritual studies, and now the counseling program I'm in. The more I am doing what is authentically true to me,
Mm-hmm.
the more opportunities come to me, the more energized I am, the happier I am. And you can find divine inspiration just about everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. The divine substance, the divine, the divine energy that is spirit is everywhere present, omnipresent, omnipotent. And it is really about, for me, and maybe you can speak on this, what I envision when you said that is allowing yourself really to be a spigot, a channel for that divine, a spigot. And when you begin to embrace the different modalities that resonate with you, which may be different than mine, or whatever it is, but each person authentically embraces what opens that spigot, that opens that flow of divine substance. And that is when the opportunities begin to show up. That is when the energy levels are maintainable and raised. So what are some tips that, as a spiritual minister and an interfaith counselor and all that, what are some ideas that you can share with our viewers that might help them to open up that spigot, to open up that flow?
What I find has worked not only for me, but for a lot of my clients is to step back from doing, at least every day for a few minutes. It's entering that space of listening. That's really that space of listening to your heart, and listening to what is calling you and creating space in your day. And to talk a little bit about my journey, before I really delved into my spiritual journey, about 10 years ago, I started down a path of mindful practices, primarily to deal with stress and anxiety.
Okay.
Not thinking it would open me up, which it did, to a very robust spiritual journey. It was that taking that time to pause and just allow, and to say, wow, there are things I'm trying to tell myself that I haven't given space to listen to. And you can do that in so many ways. Meditation is one way, but it's not the only way.
Right.
Journaling is another way, right? And I know you're a journaler, so am I, right?
Yeah.
What comes out, creative arts, being in nature, right? Walking. There's so many ways you can create that space, that inner space. It's really being authentic to what calls you. And then, I liken it to following that thread. You know, what's the next step? You know, one of my mentors calls it spiritual breadcrumbs.
Oh.
Right? What's the next breadcrumb?
Yeah.
And you just go that far, right? And then you see and you allow, and then you try the next one. It's all about just following it a step at a time and really being open. And that's one of the things I love. I've been going back and watching some of your interviews, and there is a thread that goes through all the different people that you highlight and we talk to, and it's really going back to your truth, your authentic self, which is divine.
And it's beautiful how that thread, you know, ties everything together so perfectly without us even knowing sometimes. And I think that is where the stillness and creating the space to receive, to listen, you know, is so important. And for me, I have a tendency sometimes to just get so busy and go, but it's in the moments when I stop doing and I just be, that the nuggets, the seeds, the, you know, whatever you want to call them, whatever resonates with you, the ideas, that divine substance just begins to flow. And it's like plugging into a light socket, right? You know, it's like, okay, there it is again. Let's keep going. And I think that speaks a little bit to resilience, you know, resilience and being able to restore your practice. Not everybody, you know, for me, no one's perfect. We're perfectly imperfect. There may be days I may forget. It doesn't mean that, you know, we're any less resilient and we don't have the ability to restore that practice at any time.
Right.
What can you tell us a little bit about what your take on resilience and restorative practices and how that all comes together?
Yes, it's critical. And I think for each one of us, it's all about being open to whatever works for us, because you're right. It's not the same for everybody. Right. So for me, I have my own practices that work for me that don't work for everyone else, but that's okay.
Right.
So last summer, a colleague and I started a monthly, we call it a spiritual gathering once a month on a Sunday morning. And it's really an opportunity for us to we've been diving into different themes around resilience every month. Last month, we talked a lot about self-compassion. You know, what does self-compassion mean? What happened to be on Valentine's Day? So it was love, but it was love for ourselves. No matter, you know, we are perfect just as we are.
Right.
And so those practices, and what we try to do every month is give everybody a little nugget to take with them that may resonate or not. And we're actually going to be continuing it every month. You know, we started it thinking, let's just see, people probably could use it. And now it's, people look forward to it every month. And we're going to shift a little bit now, especially going into spring, and bring in some more, well, how do we refill our well, right? We're resilient, we're strong, right? We've made it through this past year, but how do we refill that energy now as we're going into the spring? You know, it's hopeful. The things are going to be changing, right? So let's take some opportunity to restore ourselves and to see what can we do to be ready for that. You know, and I often think too, people say, you know, what have we all learned from the past year? And I think we've learned that it looked different for every one of us. This past year was not the same for me as it was for you, Samantha, or for anybody else. Right. We all found our way. And I think having the opportunity to think back on the year and say what's really been important to me. It's been challenging for everybody in so many different ways. But we've also, and I find this amazing as I sit here, created I've created a lot of brand new relationships.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And I believe that in one of our correspondence back and forth, you had quoted Rumi and the quote unquote, you know, don't go back to sleep.
Right.
Don't go back to sleep. Yeah. And to use this, you know, to use reflective journaling or art to look back on the past year and what we've all transitioned through and transformed into. And take what we need and leave the rest. Don't go back to sleep. Keep, for me, it is about trying new things and, the new relationships.
Yeah.
Keep that energy going instead of just going back into the grind of every day I know myself, I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I was in when I reflect back and I think, oh my good, how did I ever do that?
How did I do that? Right.
How did I do
Yes.
that?
How did I do that?
And I don't want to do that again.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that you have some workshops coming up. Your events are listed, the spiritual gatherings on the Sunday mornings once a month. That's all listed in the Epic Tri-County CT website and also in the magazine. I absolutely love the Root Chakra. I can't wait for the sacral
one.
So what's Reverend Laurie got going on?
Sure. So I have two. I'm going to try to do something every month. That's a bit of a workshop. So in March, my colleague and I, back at the winter solstice, we did a home altar workshop for the solstice. So we're going to be doing one on the spring equinox, which is the end of March, the last Sunday of March. I think it's the 28th. I think it is. And it's going to be a nature equinox altar. And it's going to be a workshop that we're going to send out supplies ahead of time, but it's going to be all around honoring the equinox, and it's going to also happen to fall on Palm Sunday.
Beautiful.
So we think it's a great way of connecting with nature, getting ready for the spring, but also establishing a practice that you can have in your home and an altar area you can have in your home to honor what happens at the equinox. So that's at the end of March. And then, yes, I'll be doing a deep dive into the sacral workshop, which I'm excited about too, because Samantha, that's creativity.
I know.
Right? And at the end of April. And as you so kindly did your unboxing, which I thought was so fun.
Oh my goodness.
For both of these, I do create a kit and get it out to everybody ahead of time of everything you need and then some for our time together. And it's a way of having your supplies so that you're there and, you can just enjoy the time together and really explore at a base level the chakra system and what, and it's important as we work through them, they all build on each other. And, so that's what we're going to do. I'm looking forward to it.
I have to say again, when I received the package for the Root Chakra, it felt like Christmas. It really did. I was like, oh my goodness, everything that we needed to enjoy our time together, to learn, to heal, to grow, was all beautifully wrapped up. It was just unbelievable. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the sacral. The affirmation sticker that you gave us in the Root Chakra, that's now adorning my wall in the office.
Oh, nice.
The watercolor that I did, that we did together, my individual watercolor, that's hanging on my chakra wall now. And so anybody interested in any of Reverend Laurie's workshops, please get a hold of her. It's important if you would like to receive the kits that she so graciously sends out to RSVP ahead of time. And I think that's important because it also allows each individual to set that intention and to kind of set that time aside and say, okay, I know in 2 weeks I'm going to be sitting with Reverend Laurie and another group of beautiful people and embarking on the sacral chakra or the altar. I love altar, the energies of altars. I don't know very much about them myself, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes.
With you also. And now for the spiritual gatherings that you have on the, is it the first Sundays of the month?
It's the third. I think it ends up being the third. I'm looking at the schedule. Either the second or the third Sunday.
Yeah.
It's usually the second, I think.
I should have, the schedule's right here.
No, it's the 4th. I have it right here. It's the 14th. In March, it's on March 14th.
Okay. How would our guests and anybody who's interested in joining you on the spiritual gathering on those Sundays, how would they reach you? Is it through Zoom? So
we do it through Zoom. you RSVP on my website, lauriingram.com.
Yep.
And when you RSVP, you will get a Zoom link, and it's complimentary. Always accept donations. Donations are not required. We really do it as an opportunity for people to gather, and it's interspiritual, interfaith. So it's for everybody. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
You know, no faith is welcome. It's very much just being in sacred time together. We do some contemplation, maybe a little bit of meditation, a little bit of a talk, music, and then we allow time at the end if anybody wants to share. And it's just a very cameras on, cameras off. It's whatever you're comfortable with, really.
Nice.
It's just a very informal, fluid gathering.
Sounds very welcoming, Reverend Laurie, like very welcoming. And I think that's important that you touched on all our, and even if there is someone who is questioning their path or their faith, no requirements, no prerequisites.
No prerequisites.
No
prerequisites. No, not at all. And I do want to offer as well that I do offer, if anybody is just interested in my offerings,
yes,
I do a complimentary, 15-minute phone call with folks just to talk about what they might be looking for, what I do offer. I do hope at some point in the next several months to also start to be able to offer some things in person. But I really see my practice continuing virtually because I'm being able to reach people that are out of driving distance, right?
Right.
So it'll be a combination of in-person and virtual.
Right. I think that's brilliant. Lisa and I were speaking sometime this week about, that the technology that we've opened up to is really going to allow for a good combination, a nice balance of in-person and also the virtual. We were thinking of our own spiritual center, Unity in the Foothills, how it's going to be important to have our doors to be open again, but also to always provide the same services to those that may be in Carolina that have tuned in. And what a blessing that is. So thank you for that balance. So your website is lauriingram.com.
Yes, LauriIngram.com. And
put that up there.
There it is. And you can, and I have my events on there. I also have an outline of my services. There's a page about me, kind of a much longer description of my journey, as well as all the different places that I've studied, primarily at One Spirit, Interfaith Seminary, which is in New York City. But a bunch of others, all my certifications are in there. And I have over 40 years of corporate IT experience on top of that with an MBA. So, hopefully we'll be offering as well some online courses as people can take on their own at their own time.
Yeah.
And next, right? So.
And we'll definitely keep our community up to date with everything that you offer and continue to offer. I think your work is very, very powerful and very, very needed right now. Very welcoming presence that you offer and understanding. And going back to the workshop that we shared on Valentine's Day for the Root Chakra, I want to touch on the music. That music that you played during our art time, our paint time, and also throughout the meditation that you shared, really set the vibe, I guess is what I'm saying. So please, anybody who's interested in a really creative, relaxed healing workshop in regards to chakras, check out the Sacral Chakra offering coming up. And you missed the Root Chakra, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Don't negate and not attend the Sacral Chakra because you didn't have the opportunity to participate in the Root Chakra.
Right. They all definitely stand alone. And I do plan on offering the Root Chakra content to as a pre-recorded video for.
Oh, great.
I'm going to re-record it for folks who may want to do it on their own. But you definitely could do the Sacral Chakra one independently.
Absolutely.
It's definitely designed for that.
Good.
So.
Good.
I want to thank you and Lisa for all you do as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. We do appreciate it. I'm going to ask just a question before we begin to wind everything down, kind of like this 36-hour snow event we have out here.
Yes.
Start to wind things down. Our time goes by so quickly. But, I had talked earlier with you that I'm a lover of books. And I love to read. And I'd love to know, what is Reverend Laurie's book right now, your go-to book? What would you recommend as a reading?
I'm actually in a poetry phase right now.
Okay.
Really different for me. And I am deep into the poetry of John O'Donohue.
Okay.
And that's and I don't know, I think it's because I can pick it up in very short snippets.
Yes.
And that's kind of where I am right now. Previous to this, the book that was my go-to book was actually Deepak Chopra's Metahuman. Yeah. Right. After we saw him last year, right?
Yeah.
So that one, I think, was the last one that's really stuck with me. Oh, I'll also throw in Tara Brock's it's actually, I'm reading it but it's Radical Acceptance.
Oh, okay.
So
I've heard that too.
If you want to do some deep inner work, that's a good one.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, so it's 3 things.
That's okay. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Everybody, if you're looking to connect with Reverend Laurie Ingram, please visit her website, which is www.laurieingram.com. We have it in the feed, also on the screen right now. She's got a ton of upcoming workshops. The Sacral's coming in March. There's altar workshops. Really, they're fun, and everybody loves the little kit that you get with the Sacrals, with the chakra workshops. So definitely check her out. Also, for everybody watching now and that will watch later, next week we have a special guest coming on Friday also. Tiffany Winfield Alexander is coming. We're going to be really going deep into some of Tiffany's work this week. We'll put some information out about it. So, special guests on Friday are one of my faves. All right. So, be safe out there this weekend, please, as you roam about your life. Please be safe in all that you do and all that you think about yourself. Keep it kind. Be kind to yourself. Also, be true to who you are. Stay in alignment with that true, authentic, beautiful being that you are. Stay tuned till next week. We have some fabulous guests and a lot of new announcements. And as always, it's with the deepest love and light that I say peace out, Epic Scouts. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Laurie.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.